Debate time, chat. Hey, what up?
All right, let me make sure everything sounds good. Would you do me a favor and just do give me a testing 1, 2, 3?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
All right, cool. I think that it sounds okay. Chat, you can let me know. All right, so glad that we're getting a chance to talk, man.
Yeah. I'm not really familiar with your content, and I just saw that Fresh and Fit reaction. And just to get into the debate/conversation, can you explain your point of view?
Well, I thought that we were going to talk about masculinity primarily. So I'd be more than happy to just jump into that, because when I watched your reaction to my Fresh and Fit breakdown, I think that you were like, you seemed like floored over my statement that masculinity is a social construct.
What does that mean to you? Because I hear that being thrown around by a lot of Twitter liberal people. Like, what does that mean? Masculinity is a social construct.
So what it means is a lot of the times people think that masculine and male are just one and the same, like synonymous, when in reality there is biological males, of course.
My bad, guys, man. My camera's messing up. But listen, y'all already know, man. Sub to the channel, subscribe. We're here to get into Sneako versus this cornball, whatever. People call him soy boys, I call him cornball. But listen, let's get into this video, man. Go follow me on Instagram at Pacman Live with 2 E's, man. Let's get into this. Oh, hold on.
There are definitely biological characteristics that we have classified as masculine, like physical strength, right? But there's not any.
How many push-ups you could do? Feel like he's scared to work out. He's scared to do some hard labor. And he's talking like this.
One way to be masculine. And finally, I think another good example is that height.
There's not one way to be masculine?
No, there's not just one way to be masculine.
I guarantee you, chat, he's gonna be talking about it's okay to cry, it's okay to break down, it's okay to go to therapy or something. He's gonna say some crazy weird stuff like out of the norm, like that's not like what men really don't want to do. Men don't want to cry, men don't want to go to a therapist.
Masculine. You could be weak physically, but engage in other types of behaviors that might be categorized as masculine. There's no one way to be masculine.
Okay. Do you think you're as masculine as somebody like a UFC fighter?
No.
Or even me? Or would you? Okay, why? Is that a social construct, or is that just basic biology?
No, because what you're missing is that we as humans have categorized these certain behaviors as being masculine. So you saying, I have big muscles, we have categorized that as masculine. Okay, women can have big muscles, but it doesn't mean that she's necessarily masculine. Similarly, height also is oftentimes considered masculine, and that is also based on biology, but it's
the traits that come with masculinity. Women take on traits, inherently like grow traits, or they have traits that become masculine, like very interrupting. Just being, let's say, I would say a woman that's being disrespectful, saying nigga. Any black woman that says nigga, that's masculine. Interrupting, not being agreeable. Women are more passive, more laid back, nurturing. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
It's women who wear high heels to become taller, and that's considered feminine. So height can be masculine, but if a woman is tall because she's wearing high heels, that would be feminine. There's no one way to be masculine.
When you say social construct, when I hear people say this, it basically just comes down to the fact that you're just like, humans have definitions for words. That's it.
Well, partially, yeah, but that doesn't mean that everything is a social construct. Because again, it's not just the definitions, it's also what is the definition referring to. There's a collection of behaviors that are laid out in society as to how men should behave. And that's considered masculinity. I can give you an example here. This comes from the Conformity to Masculine Norms Inventory.
Man, he's just about to just read off shit, man. He about to read off shit. He can't tell you nothing that's masculine. He ain't gonna tell you like, oh, going to hunt with my father, that's masculine. Fishing, masculine. Fixing a car, masculine. Building a car, masculine. Getting the bag from my lady so she ain't gotta go to work, masculine. Working out, masculine. He gonna say cry. Yeah, I know all the. I swear, shit like him when they call him a bot, shit like what he's gonna say is bot shit because it's all trained. They all say the same thing. Nothing is smart. He can't even tell you. He can't even tell you nothing masculine without reading a study.
It specified 11 norms as far as masculinity: winning, emotional control, risk-taking, violence, dominance, playboy, self-reliance, primacy of work,
Violence is
power
definitely
over
masculine.
women, disdain for homosexuality, and pursuit of status. So plenty of that is socially constructed. The idea that you're a man, you need to be winning, that's socially constructed. There's nothing innate to men that means they have to win.
What's your point? What's the point?
That's bro. Listen. I'm gonna stop this shit a lot because he's talking some bullshit. I swear. The innate to win is what men do. When they say Rome was conquered in a day, that's considered winning. When Genghis Khan went in and took over most of the world, winning. You have the innate thing to conquer, aka winning, leading, same shit.
Saying that it's a social construct.
My point is that we have decided that certain behavior is masculine. And so long as we're able to acknowledge that, we can also then have conversations about the aspects of masculinity that are harmful to men.
Toxic masculinity?
Partially, but I also recognize how that term has been just...
There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. It's a fact.
Well, that's what you're saying. You're saying harmful masculinity. It's the same thing. So you're saying that there's certain parts of masculinity that we shouldn't embrace and we should let that go because it's toxic, harmful.
Well, yeah, partially yes, but it's not just toxic to like the women, right? It's toxic to the men. It hurts men specifically, and that's why
what parts of what do you think is toxic masculinity?
The idea that you should suppress emotion. The idea that showing if you cry, for example, as a man, that's seen as being weak. That is absolutely detrimental to
you're really gonna
a man's
argue.
mental
You're really
well-being.
going to argue with me and say that crying isn't weak?
It's not, and it's further evidenced by the fact that masculinity is a social construct. So, for example, this comes from
no. Okay, don't keep repeating that. How? It's very basic things like yes, you should be able to express your emotions, but would you cry on camera?
I mean, maybe it would depend on what I was talking about.
Would you?
Wait, hold on. I'm not. Wait. Wait, I'm not just repeating that masculinity is a social construct. I'm explaining that in the Middle Ages, there was a trope of masculine weeping being a mark of religious devotion and knightly chivalry. So by the 16th century, it was well established that a masculine man was supposed to have deep emotions and to show them, in some cases, through tears. So the fact that at one point that was masculine, and nowadays not showing emotion is considered masculine, demonstrates that masculinity has changed, which demonstrates that it is a social construct.
Because you have one thing from the 16th century that you just read?
No, that's not just the one thing. Do we want to look back at ancient Greece? You know, small penises used to be a symbol of masculinity back then.
Yeah, they were also having gay butt sex in Greece.
That's irrelevant to what I just said.
It's pretty relevant.
Do you acknowledge that certain aspects of masculinity have changed over time and throughout history?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can be steered and go off into the wrong things. But masculinity and femininity is parallel in every single animal kingdom, not just humans, but you don't see the leader, the father of a family in any animal needs to be strong, needs to be guided, needs to be winning, bringing food to the table. And if you waste time crying, then someone else is going to eat you alive.
Well, we are animals, but we are not animals in the sense that we operate only on instinct. We're human beings. We have far more complex mental capacity. And you're wrong, because if you want a man to provide for the family, that man needs to be mentally strong enough to do just that. And when you suppress your emotions because you're afraid of looking weak or looking feminine, you are damaging your own mental well-being.
It's not afraid of looking weak or looking feminine. It's just crying and being emotional as a man literally puts you in a vulnerable state. and you're not
No,
capable,
it doesn't necessarily.
Yes, that 100%, that's exactly what crying is being vulnerable. And the more you put yourself in a vulnerable position, the quicker somebody else could take advantage of you. If you spend more time being emotional, then someone else will walk all over you.
Okay, well, hold on. I think that you're a little bit confused. It can be vulnerable to express emotions and to cry, yes, but I'm not advocating that men just cry all day, every day at everything. Yeah, there's a time and a place to appropriately express emotion, of course, but this isn't just for men. This is literally for every human being. Women shouldn't be melting down crying at the job either. So there's a time and a place to express those emotions. And again, it's okay for a man to be vulnerable at times. That is a necessary component of, honestly, the human experience and the ability to better your own mental health. I'll read you some of this.
I don't want to keep reading studies and stuff like that. I want to have a conversation.
Well, I know you don't, because they all contradict all of this dumb shit
because
you constantly advocate for.
What dumb shit do I constantly advocate for?
You have talked all the time about how men don't need to be in therapy talking about their feelings. They need a tough older brother to just go punch them and tell them to shut the fuck up, or tough it out, pussy, or something like that. So yeah, you have advocated against the idea of men being intent or in touch with their emotions.
Do you go to therapy?
No.
Okay, why not?
Well, I used to, but I don't anymore.
Why'd you stop going? Why are you not in touch with your mental health?
Going to therapy is not synonymous with being in touch with your mental health. But when you say they don't need to express emotion, or they don't need to be talking about their feelings, that is advocating for the very problem that is affecting men.
You don't get it. So I don't say that you should suppress your emotions. You should feel it, you should go through it, but you should act accordingly. So you can be emotional and still do what you need to do. Going to therapy, wasting time, and even thinking that it's dumb shit that you should just keep pushing forward is going to be a time waster. So what happened to me recently, like when I got banned on YouTube, was obviously that shit made me feel emotional. 9 years of work, everything deleted, constant hit pieces about me, YouTube taking money away from me, my life's work all being stripped away. I could do what you want to do, go to therapy, I can talk about it, I can cry, or figure out a solution and still feel those things. So I'm not done with my point. Men have the capacity.
Your point is irrelevant here and doesn't actually help your argument.
You didn't hear my point.
Yo, he's a bot for real. I swear to God, all he does is just says stuff about studies, bro. Let's be honest. What's the most masculine is supposed to be as another word for being manly? Manly. What's a manlier thing? Say you go in there and you challenge this guy to a fight and you win. Who's the more masculine or the more manly? It's just honest. It's just the truth.
You didn't hear my point.
I don't need to hear any more of your point or your personal anecdote. I don't give a fuck.
It's not a personal anecdote.
The problem here, Sneako, is that you are creating a dichotomy. It is not either push forward or roll over and start crying at therapy. It's both. It's you can be in touch with your feelings and your emotions, learn how to work through that, and continue pushing.
They didn't say you couldn't do that.
I'm not saying people should just give up.
Okay,
you're making this into a dichotomy.
No one said giving up. You're putting words in my mouth. Men have the capacity to feel emotions and then make the decision to keep going. Women and weaker people don't have the same ability to. They need to cry. They need to process it. But it can be processed through work. This new age idea that we need to go cry, that we need to go to therapy, that we need to talk about it, that I need to go on TikTok and talk about my problems is all a waste. When you can just keep pushing forward, you can have conversations with people, but spending more time investing into your feelings is ultimately a waste when you know what to do.
You're wrong.
I just said this. You know what to do. What is a therapist going to tell you to do? Nothing. They're not going to help you at all. They're going to tell you, they're going to listen to you. They're going to listen to you, and they're going to tell you, all right, recognize what happened and just move forward. You already know this. You're not going to therapy to learn nothing more new than you already know. They're going to sit there and it's going to be someone to vent to. You'll find out anywhere free. They don't cure you of nothing. If you got, say you had trauma and you got shot. What are they send you to a therapist or what? Just to talk about it. They can't cure you from getting shot. No, they can't. This man don't talk. This man is saying anything. Probably don't get no girls, don't do no push-ups. He probably shot the real shy passer type, man. He don't know what he talking about.
Why am I
Again,
wrong?
because it's not a dichotomy. You
Not a
should,
dichotomy.
quote unquote, know what to do and move forward and push on in your life. But the way in which you can do that more successfully is also by being in touch with your emotions
Is crying
and also
what does
being
crying
willing
accomplish?
to cry at times.
What does
if
crying
you need
accomplish,
to.
sir?
All right, chat. Listen. Let me say this about crying. There's nothing wrong with crying, but there's a time and a place for it as a man. When it's a woman could cry anywhere because she's a woman. She's welcome. She's cared for. Everybody feels bad. But when it's a man, there's always a time and a place.
Okay, well, it's that crying can scientifically release certain chemicals in your brain that can help you assess the situation better. There's that. And it's also even more so, it's the suppression of emotion and crying that really does the damage. To be crystal clear, especially for people watching, I'm not advocating that all men need to be crying at the same rate as women. That would be pretty silly to expect.
Okay.
However, what I was trying to read you earlier, a second ago, there is a meta-analysis that was done on the relation between repressive coping.
It's only all he had is fucking what's the name? Or he going on the internet and finding this stuff out. He has no life experience, bro. No life experience whatsoever. This is common sense. I don't even need to go on the internet to think about it, to think about anything. Just to go and ask. I already know from my life experiences. Every man lives a similar type of life experience. And you know what's the difference between masculine and not masculine, or manly and not manly.
And certain diseases. And they found that repressive coping literally increases your risk of developing cancer.
That's
so
stress.
Again, when you make it
that's what stress is.
Boys shouldn't be at therapy talking about their feelings and instead should just have an older brother that tells them to tough it out, pussy, then what you're doing is you're contributing to negative outcomes for men.
I'm contributing to cancer?
If you're telling men
every
that
man
they need to repress their emotions in order to be a good man or a manly man.
Every man and every woman wants their son to grow up with an older brother to get their little brother to get their little brother right on the right track. Every man knows that. If you grew up with a little brother or older brother, that's how it is. That's what real love is. Checking them, telling them, "No, bro, like, to me, ain't nothing wrong with saying like, ain't nothing wrong with being sympathizing with your brother and stuff like that, but you gotta tell him, listen, bro, get your shit together, man. Get your shit together. Go cry and get your shit. Come back and get your shit together, man. We giving this shit another shot."
Or masculine, yes.
Okay. What's your demographic? What's your audience?
Girls.
A YouTube audience?
Yeah. How many females and how many males are you watching?
Non-binary.
I don't know.
You don't know. You should check. So I have 95% males watching, and the reason I had this giant blow up right now, and why my stream blew up so fast, is because I was connecting with a lot of men who understood that what I was saying is something that they needed to hear, something that they understood inherently. You should check your demographics and see who's watching your videos, and we can get a consensus in my chat right now. You can type a 1 if you agree with me that it's better to keep pushing forward, and type a 2 if you think that you should cry and process everything.
You're doing it again. Why do you keep doing that? It's not either, because it's not either or. It's not option 1, cry and talk about emotions.
Then let's
or
establish
option
something.
B, push forward. Do both. That's the most healthy way to go.
Doing both is still doing it. So let's make an establishment. I'm saying, here's my argument. It's better to not cry as a man. Can you make a statement?
Yes, my statement is there's a time and a place to express yourself and express emotions, including crying, and you telling men that they shouldn't cry does harm. You talk constantly. I've watched some of your content. You are consistently talking about
Can we cry alone?
Men committing suicide at higher.
Facts. Ayo. Chat, you could cry alone. Like I said, it's a time and a place to cry. I would say it's not like women. You can't cry anywhere in front of everybody. I would say, listen, you could cry, you could feel sad, but get your bootstraps back together and get your shit together. Go cry. When you off, take a walk around the corner and cry. Go chill in your room by yourself and cry. It's a time and a place, man. To be honest, it's sad. It's a sad world, but that's not very masculine.
Higher rates. That is a legitimate problem in America. And it's already been demonstrated that emotional suppression links the relation between suicidal thoughts and suicidal attempts. You're advocating for something that results in a harm to men.
Emotional suppression?
Yes. I can send you this study too if you'd like. This is emotional suppression
Okay.
mediates the relation between adverse life events and adolescent suicide, implications for prevention. And this is just one of many that demonstrates that when you engage in suppressing emotions as a coping mechanism, you are just
I'm not
increasing
saying
your
suppressing.
likelihood.
I'm not saying suppressing. I'm saying understand what the emotions are and then act accordingly. Because
If
ultimately,
you said, wait, did you not just say that men shouldn't cry?
yeah, that's not
Okay,
suppressing.
so what
That's
if a man wants to cry
You can
and
feel
you're
the
telling them not
emotion.
to? Isn't that suppressing it?
No, you can understand what's making you upset. You can feel the emotion. Doesn't mean you need to act on it. You can make the decision to what you want to do in your life. It's very simple. Like right now, obviously getting banned on YouTube makes me upset. I'm not crying about it because I understand that the long term, I'm going to be happier. My emotional state's going to be better if I keep on working. If I go to therapy, then I'm going to be in a downward spiral. Nothing gets accomplished, and I will be more upset because all the work that I've done
Facts.
will go to nothing. That time I spent.
Why do you assume that? Because
No
therapy can actually
testosterone.
be incredibly beneficial. There's plenty of evidence that therapy has benefited people
Man, I don't
in
even
their
know.
mental
I
health,
keep
their
saying this
mental
shit
well-being.
over, man. This man ain't got one masculine bone in his body. He ain't never did a push-up ever in a day in his life. He got pandas on his shirt. Let me take that back. Ain't nothing wrong with pandas on your shirt. But he based all his stuff off of stats he see online. He has no life experience. He probably never been to the club and got rejected. He says, well, he probably never cried in front of her. Get a girlfriend and cry in front of her every day. Watch what will happen. There's a time and place to cry. I'm not saying it's not a time. You can't cry, but it's a time and a place, man, as a man.
It's a place. You don't need. There's nothing they're going to tell you in therapy that you don't already know. The answers to all your problems are very simple. Your happiness comes from life experience, from love, from gaining more, for accomplishing things, getting respect, living life. That's our happiness. You're not going to therapy to get happy. You're going there to talk about your feelings. There's nothing they're going to tell you that you don't already know.
Facts.
That's not necessarily true at all. I don't know why you would assume that.
What's the revelation you've had in therapy?
I don't need to give you a personal experience for what you just said to be incorrect. So a lot of the times therapists will not.
Hey, yo, this is what happens. Like I see the chat too. Blame it on them. This is the stuff they push to you. That's why you can't be watching this bull, especially as a man. You can't be watching this bullshit, man. That's why it's good to have brothers. It's good to have other male figures in your life. Man, to be honest, it blows my mind because more and more men are just gonna become out like this. I'm gonna have my son in another country. He's gonna come back from farmland, something like. We ain't doing this, man. We're gonna watch 300 every day. We're gonna watch The Matrix, like on my shit. We watching mad masculine shit, bro. We're not watching this weird shit, bro. He wildin'.
Give you some big revelation, but instead walk you yourself through certain emotions and feelings so that you can come to a better conclusion, or so that you can deal and cope with these things again in a more healthy way.
Okay. It's healthy because that's what they want you to think. They make a lot of money and you keep going back. But then answer this question for me. Why do you think that?
So there we have the conspiracy.
What's the conspiracy?
That they just want you to keep going back to make money.
That's exactly what it is. That's not a conspiracy. That's the business of therapy. That's how
just
it
if
works.
They make money providing therapy does not mean that they are incentivized or are trying to keep people down.
Therapy doesn't end. There's no date where therapy's done. You just keep going every single week. That's not a conspiracy. That's how it works, Hunter. Let me ask you this.
Maybe people leave. Wait, it's possible also that therapy is just effective. People don't go forever. They'll leave once therapy has been effective.
Fuck therapy. Get in the gym, man. The best therapy is the gym, man. Where you could go over, you could work on yourself. When you're in the gym, you're around a bunch of winners and people want to do better. It's something that's mentally like just stimulates your mind in the gym that just gets you on the right path. You're gonna sit here and cry about it for months and months and months and years and years and years. No, you're supposed to recognize what happened. That's what you do. You recognize what happened and you move forward. You don't forget it. It's the same thing about therapy. They're gonna tell you, all right, just move forward, but keep coming. So they make money off you. This man that be living under, what is he like? Patrick living under a rock?
Enough in helping them, in bettering them, their life.
Okay. Do you see yourself going back to therapy?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, there you go. So it doesn't end. I'm saying I'll never go to therapy. My point is, why do you think?
Proving your point at all.
Okay.
I don't think you even understand what you're saying right now. Like, yes, I used to go to therapy. I don't anymore. Now I have different issues in my life that I want to deal with. And
So
sometimes
it's a never-ending problem.
beneficial.
It's a never-ending problem. Why
Emotions, feeling
Okay.
stress, yeah, that can be a pretty never-ending problem. Yeah.
Right. Why do you think that I've resonated with so many young men and you haven't?
I don't know, and I don't really care. I think that
he speak the language of the men. That's why. That's exactly why he speak the men language. That's why. It's as simple as that. And of course, there a lot of people have sisters and the sisters that are more feminine men because there's twice as many women in this country or in this world than there is men. And this is why you should always have a brother or a father figure in life. If you don't have a father, you don't have a manly father figure in life, your dad out there, this is what happens. You cry about shit all day.
part of the reason
When we
that
both do content, we both live stream. It's an accurate thing to think about. We're both
I think
creating
part of the
content.
reason
We're both
is that
talking to
you.
people.
I think part of the reason is that you offer
Hey, chat, subscribe.
easy
Yeah, hit the
way
subscribe
out,
button.
in a way. I think that a lot of the times this don't go to therapy, don't confront your feelings and your emotions, just stick it out, tough it out. You know,
Is
you
that
gotta fuck
easy?
a bunch of big.
How is that
That is
easy?
what-
That's the most
because
difficult thing in
when you're-
life. Getting
No.
more.
He haven't. Oh my God, he think it's easy to fuck bitches. It's not. It's not. He obviously. I bet you his body count like 1, maybe 2, probably none. They say the average men, one out of 3 is celibate or haven't had sex in a year and is a virgin. I guarantee you he ain't got no girlfriend. I guarantee you. He ain't talking like this around her.
Money
Because telling people to just stick it out is only detrimental to their well-being. So the problem is that you resonate with young men. It's true. However, you're resonating with them for the wrong reasons. You're telling these vulnerable and impressionable guys that they need to be suppressing their feelings, which makes it more likely they'll commit suicide, makes it more likely that they'll be depressed, or even act out in violence against women.
Okay.
Like you're contributing to the same problems that you complain about all the time.
It's my fault that there's okay. You're saying that it's an easy solution to tough it out. I'm saying no, it's very difficult. What's easier is going to therapy and crying. That's the easy solution. Paying $150 to sit down on a couch and cry. That's the easy solution. What I'm offering is the hard one. The journey, the life path of a man is very difficult. You need to get it. You need to get in shape. You need to make a lot of money.
He's gonna say no. Watch.
You need to learn how to talk to women. All that shit that's going to make you happy as a man is extremely difficult. I'm saying, yo, get up. I'm doing push-ups on my stream. I'm trying to inspire that fire that young men have inside of them so that they can make their life better. It's not that's not an easy solution. That's the journey of a man.
Some of the things you're saying, I don't even necessarily disagree with. Like, yeah, you should do.
But then why would you say it's easy? Then why would you say that what I'm saying is easy?
Because the more challenging thing to do is actually being in touch with your emotions and working through them, not just suppressing them because I'm a man. I just got to push through, dude.
That's not challenging. That's the easiest thing. See, when I got banned, the easiest thing would be sit there and cry. You know what was harder? Sucking it up and doing a podcast that night.
I don't think you understand, because when you tell guys to just suck it up, there are times, yes, where you do need to suck it up. I agree with you. This isn't just like a universal rule. However, there are also times when men should and need to express emotions and feelings and even cry if they need to.
Why were you going to therapy?
I was going to therapy because of OCD and depression. It was a long time ago now.
Okay. What was?
But
I mean, maybe I don't want to get that personal, but OCD, depression.
It benefited.
This man has no free think, no life experience. I keep saying it. He has no life experience, man. Sneako didn't say. He said he didn't cry, but he realized it hurted him. So he know it hurts or it's very emotional. He just didn't cry, but he got himself together and streamed and talked about it the next day or that day.
Me, but I'm not even.
Did you take antidepressants?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think that helped? Do you still take them?
Yes, it has helped immensely.
Okay, you're on Prozac. You took the booster shot, right?
I'm not on Prozac. No, wait, hold on. We're not going to just pivot away from this. We're not talking about boosters right now.
But you took the booster, right?
No, I actually didn't get the booster. I was honestly.
You got vaccinated?
I got 2 doses of the vaccine when it was first happening. I didn't get the booster because I was way too scared that was the one that had the microchip in it. So I decided to avoid that one. Not to mention, when I got the second vaccine, I had a weird fucking side effect where I had this like nearly uncontrollable urge to download Microsoft Windows Explorer, Internet Explorer. really quite crazy.
I've
anyway,
noticed a
before we start
parallel.
pivoting-
I'm not pivoting. I just want to make this observation. I've noticed a parallel. People who say words like toxic masculinity, who talk about antidepressants and therapy, are also vaccinated. It's all tied in to make everybody control. These are things that they do to suppress us and keep us down and have everybody believing in the same thing so that we're easily manipulated and we're compliant. Booster shot, vaccination,
toxic masculinity. How does
saying
that
toxic masculinity because you're crying. You're not embracing your masculine nature. You think that being a man is toxic.
No, I don't.
Facts.
You're wrong. And this is the misconception because a bunch of blue-haired fucking dipshits on Twitter have completely abused the term toxic masculinity.
And people like you.
When
too.
I talk about toxic masculinity, I'm talking about social expectations that are
When I talk about toxic masculinity, shut up, bro. There's no such thing, bro. It's either you're toxic or you're not toxic. I don't know about toxic masculinity. You could be toxic and not toxic. People say toxic masculinity when you want to control what goes on in your life. So say if I wanted a girl that I didn't want to go out, I didn't want to go out, I don't want her to go out every weekend, and I say no, that's toxic masculinity. How is that toxic masculinity? I want to control what goes on in my life. I don't want no hoe out here in these streets. That's not toxic, bro. That's not. It's crazy. This dumbass term they use, bro.
placed on men that are toxic to the man. I'm not talking about toxic masculinity as it's bad to be a man or to even be masculine. But when you posit these ideas that men need to suppress emotion, tough it out, what you are doing is you are negatively impacting men's mental well-being. And I don't know why, if quote unquote they wanted to control us, they would be advocating to address these toxic expectations that are placed on men. I mean, if they want to control us, like telling men the type of masculinity, the type of masculinity that you're pushing for, the suppress emotion type, that contributes to more suicide.
Okay, you
how are they going to gain? How are they gaining?
He didn't say suppress. He's putting words in his mouth, boy. He's putting words in his mouth, and he's like, I ain't gonna lie. It's people that like when they say common sense ain't so common, man. That's just the facts, man. You could go to school, you could go to college for it, you could get a master's, but you don't have common sense, bro. That's the truth, bro. This is the truth. It's the reason why all the men, the young guys, the older guys flock to Sneako. It's because he talks what they live, or what we live, or what we want to live. People live vicarious through him, live through him, man.
You repeated that 3 times. I mean, basically, and you didn't answer.
Because it's true, yes.
Okay, you didn't answer the more giant question. Why do you think? Like, really try to think about that. Why do you think that I'm connecting with these men and you're not?
I don't know what relevance this has. I think
because
that,
you're
again,
saying the same idea that everyone is pretty much saying. This is what they want us to believe, that it's toxic. Everybody who's talking about this. These ideas come from someplace. This is a new idea. Toxic masculinity, mental health, therapy. These are new ideas that we all start echoing and believing. You see it in articles. You see it on social media. You see it in the news. You hear from everybody in charge.
I don't think you understand how that when I talk about toxic masculinity, this is referring to a broad societal problem that is detrimental to men.
Okay.
So if we want to talk about what the APA has said, for example, the American Psychological Association, they have said that the pressure that boys and men feel to conform to certain aspects of traditional masculinity can lead to poor health outcomes, including higher rates of suicide, substance abuse, violence, and early death.
Yeah.
Now, men committing suicide, men committing suicide is a huge problem, okay? I agree with that. And I also appreciate the fact that you talk about some of these issues. However, the solutions that you're offering are detrimental to men. And not only that,
how are you going to talk about what's better for men if you're, I mean, no offense, you're an anti.
Bro, the most masculine thing you could do is realize some shit hurts you and move the fuck on and move on. It's easy. Damn, that hurt. Oh, she broke up with me. Of course, let's say a breakup. When women break up with you, of course it hurts. You might cry a little bit, but the most masculine thing is to keep going. Keep going, man. Keep going. You use that as gas in the car. You put that in the car. The new car you're going to get after she done broke up with you because you want to level up. That's real masculine shit. Or vice versa.
Antidepressants How are you going to talk about what's better for your mental health if you are literally popping a pill every day saying I'm not happy?
You can't control it.
What the fuck do you know?
Do you know what an ad hom attack is? Do you know
that's
what
not
an
an ad hom,
is?
bro. That's not an ad hom
Yes,
attack.
it is. You're not even addressing my argument. You're
attack.
saying you take pills. What?
You take antidepressants. You are acknowledging every day I'm depressed. So
No,
what do you know about
that's
happiness?
not what taking antidepressants is. Well, first of all, second of all, I don't need to. Second of all, I don't need to know, or I don't need to be in the best mental well-being myself to still be able to read what these studies demonstrate, that telling men to suppress emotion does nothing but contribute to higher rates of suicide, substance abuse, and violence.
Okay.
Not to mention, this type of idea also negatively impacts men within relationships. So we have already done, there's been plenty of studies on this, for example.
Hunter, your way's not working.
Facts.
Wait.
Your method's not working. Your view of men's mental health and everything is not working, and you're admitting it every day by taking an antidepressant.
Okay, if you're gonna just cling to like you take medicine, LOL, then that's fine. But you're not making an argument right now.
It's not
medicine. It is medicine. It's been clinically demonstrated to be effective, and I don't know what your hang-up is with this. Okay. Chill the fuck out. I want to read this to you really quickly.
Chill,
damn, he got gangster on him. You heard him? He done got gangster. Hey yo, why? Listen, the best medicine is to take things in your own hands. That's like going to the doctors and saying I'm obese or I'm fat, or they're gonna diagnose you with diabetes and or whatever. But you realize that you take matters in your own hand. I think that's like one of the masculine things. That's the best thing to do. Oh, I'm getting fat or I'm about to be super overweight. I need to get in the gym. Oh, I got too much salt in my diet. Oh, I need to stop eating salty foods. I need to stop eating at night. Oh, I have anxiety. I need to calm down and realize what am I afraid of in the future. That's what I'm scared about coming in the future. It's not like why, like, but like what's so toxic about that? Like, man? I don't get these people. I ain't gonna lie. The small majority of the people are the loudest, and that's Hunter. The majority of the people you walk around, the guys who walk around, they're not crying in front of people. And I guarantee you, they just don't have a platform to be talking about stuff like this. They don't talk about stuff like this, but they live their life regular, bro.
About how there's masculine discrepancy.
I don't need pills to be chill.
And intimate partner violence. It says, quote, research on gender roles suggests that men who strongly adhere to traditional masculine gender norms are at increased risk for the perpetuation of violent and abusive acts towards their female intimate partners.
Okay, talk to me,
and
man.
even more
these
so,
studies, bro. This is just a waste.
No, I know that you don't want me to read all of the information that completely obliterates all the dumb shit you say, but let me finish at least, okay? It says, in the present study, we assess the effect of masculine discrepancy stress, a form of distress arising from
this is not having a debate or a conversation. Reading these articles.
You see his chat. It says that the men who fought in World War II need therapy before storming the beach of Normandy. Nah, and it's crazy. The people that went to war, these are people they classified as toxically masculine. They're not crying, bro. They're out here to destroy some shit, to take over. But that's called toxic masculinity.
Articles is not a conversation.
It's not an article, it's a study, and I would like to just read the little blurb here, okay?
This
is educational for people listening, okay? In the present study, they assessed the effect of masculine discrepancy.
If you're depressed,
stress,
you should not be educating people on happiness.
A form of distress arising from perceived failure to conform to socially prescribed masculine gender role norms. Results indicate that masculine discrepancy
I know this helps you think, but you can look at me and talk to me. Nobody in the chat's listening to this. Like this, you're just reciting bot points. Have a conversation.
I understand if everybody in your chat is like a brain dead fucking cuck, but I'm trying to just demonstrate that the type of masculinity that you are consistently advocating for hurts men and hurts their future relationships.
Okay. Do you know who's not on antidepressants? Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, me. The red pill people live happy lives. You don't take pills.
Wow. That's great, dude. That's super cool.
The idea.
Why don't we keep talking about snorting pills and I'll get back to reading this. It says results indicated that masculine discrepancy stress significantly
I'm not
predicted.
listening to you talk. Read the study.
It's one more sentence. Calm down, please. Results indicated that masculine discrepancy stress significantly
this shit really make you lose brain cells, man. Just listen to the dumb shit he be talking about, bro. I get it, it's a study. I would say the studies he's talking about are biased, bro. They're not going to urban neighborhoods. They're not going around everywhere asking people about this stuff. They're going and finding a fixed person with green, blue hair inside colleges or something like that, and they're asking them questions.
In men's historical perpetuation of intimate partner violence, independent of other masculinity-related variables.
Okay, can you make
so the type of masculinity? No, we're not moving on yet.
You said the type of masculinity 6 times in a row.
Because I don't know how else to get them through your thick fucking skull.
By arguing and talking to me and listening to what I'm saying right now.
Part of what forms a good argument are facts to back it up. Okay, I'm just here to speak truth.
Are you? Okay. Let me tell you a fact. Everybody in the red pill world that you were calling toxic and that you are against, all those people don't take antidepressants.
Why are you so obsessed with this?
Because you're talking about happiness, but you are on a pill that declares your unhappiness.
I think that this is actually really demonstrating a fatal flaw with your reasoning here. So, for example, do you realize that somebody could give accurate and correct advice on healthy eating if they themselves are fat?
They can't. No,
did you know that?
Listen,
if somebody's fat, they can still say the studies demonstrate that this is the best method forward for losing weight.
But if the study says that, why are you not taking your own advice? Why would we listen to you? That doesn't make sense. I just recently said this.
You hire a fat personal trainer?
That's not the question, or that's honestly irrelevant again to what I just said. It's not a personal trainer. It's about whether or not the factual information being delivered is accurate. No, if you were going to get a personal trainer, yeah, you would want somebody who's in shape.
Okay.
However, if there's a fat person delivering information about how to lose weight, whether or not they're fat has no bearing on whether or not the information is correct.
Okay. Chat, type of 1 if you would not take information from a fat personal trainer seriously.
I want your chat why are you doing this, my dude? It's like you're not capable of hearing what I'm actually saying right now.
I'm hearing everything. But that's a great point. If you're on antidepressants, then you shouldn't talk about happiness the same way a fat person shouldn't talk about health.
That's not true. Whether or not I'm on antidepressants, whether or not somebody's fat, is irrelevant as to whether or not the information they're delivering is accurate.
Okay, but would you personally hire a fat personal trainer?
No, that's not the claim I made, and that's irrelevant to the argument.
I'm not talking about your claim.
If you're going to get
I'm asking you a question. It's a different question. It's a different.
He's not going to answer the question because he knows it's going to destroy his argument.
Claim. Would you hire?
You're missing the point so bad.
I understand your point, but would you hire a fat personal trainer?
No.
Okay.
Because a personal trainer is somebody who needs to be in shape. However, if there's some fat fuck sitting on the internet giving information as to how to lose weight.
This is the same shit. Oh my God. This is the same shit. Listen, man, he's on antidepressants. He just talked about the fat guy, but he's the guy on antidepressants trying to give out advice too. He's basically talking about himself, bro. Why would you listen to him? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, bro. Crazy.
Whether or not they're fat is irrelevant as to whether or not the information
what YouTuber is. Tell me what YouTuber is that? Tell me a fat YouTuber who's talking about health properly.
This is a hypothetical, Sneako.
It's a hypothetical, but you're acting like it's real. That doesn't exist because nobody would take it seriously.
Out an analogy for you so that you can try.
Okay, then give me the analogy. The same way that men shouldn't listen to you because you're on antidepressants is the same reason why a fat personal trainer YouTuber doesn't exist, and why you are not resonating with men across the world.
Okay,
nobody's going to take what you say seriously if you aren't happy.
I'm not saying a fat personal trainer.
I'm
saying a fat person sits down and tells you something about
how to lose his own argument.
The information they're giving it's whether or not it's accurate is irrelevant as to whether or not the person giving the information is fat or not.
That's true. But would you take it seriously?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. That's all I needed.
Would you take it seriously though?
It's as to whether or not the claim is sound. It's not as to whether or not the person delivering it is in the best health.
Would you take that seriously? If you had a fat doctor tell you to start losing weight, and yes, the information could be correct, would you listen seriously?
Probably. If it was told from my personal doctor, yeah.
You
disagree with me.
If you had
no, stop. You're trying to pivot right now, and you're hurting yourself. Okay, you agreed with me that it is actually irrelevant as to whether or not the information is accurate from whom the information is delivered from.
Okay,
so me being on antidepressants is completely irrelevant as to whether or not the factual information and the statistics that I'm laying out are true and accurate.
Okay, the same reason that I would not hire a fat personal trainer, because even though that what they're saying could be correct, I just wouldn't take it seriously. I'd be like, this guy doesn't know shit. Same reason that I don't go to therapy. This person does not know more about life than me. They have nothing to tell me. That's the reason that you are not connecting with young men like I am, because they see you. They can see the fact that, I mean, you're not like a masculine presence. So they're not going to take what you're saying seriously about how men should act. You're on antidepressants. Why would they listen to you about happiness?
Because
This,
I'm not
what you're saying
offering my
could be
personal
correct.
I'm not offering my personal anecdotes as to how to get better. I'm delivering statistical
You're reading
reality.
studies. Oh, you're reading
Yes,
studies.
The studies it's irrelevant as to whether or not I am on antidepressants if the study is accurate or not.
Okay. Well, I mean, look at you. You go based
So
off of
you
studies.
agree with me then?
I go based off of logic, reasoning, life experience, things that make sense.
Facts, life
And
experience.
I'm not on antidepressants.
You're
go
not
based,
going on.
You go based on these studies, and you take those pills.
Wait,
So
I don't think you understand
isn't
that if
that
you're
proof
going to claim
enough?
that you go based on logic, how are you coming to logical conclusions unless you are reviewing the data? Unless you're reviewing some kind of a statistical analysis that can give you a conclusion that is based on, again, statistics, data collection. Your personal experience doesn't speak for everybody.
All those stats are manipulated.
Just all of them, they're just blanket, all of them are manipulated.
Yeah, they deliver what they want you to read. They tell you the things that are going to keep you controlled. That's the reason why certain people get banned. That's why things are labeled as misinformation. The same reason I got banned on YouTube for COVID misinformation, election misinformation. There's certain things they can dictate reality. They can tell you what's real and what's false. That's the reason I got banned on YouTube, talking about the lies about COVID, the lies about the election. So these statistics and these studies that you're robotically reading out. Well, these studies that you're reading are like, robotic, this is blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, I know that this is all manipulated because they put on the front page what they want you to see. The trending page, all these ideas, all the generic things that everybody's saying is stuff that's been handpicked by somebody else to keep us compliant. That's why I'm on Rumble.
I don't think you, okay? You're coping right now. You can't just say all the studies are fake. That's, again, a lazy way out because the studies that exist contradict the type of masculinity that you push for. The type of masculinity that you advocate for.
Yo, listen, man. There's no type of masculinity you push for. It's only one masculinity. It's one man of being manly, bro. That's how they want you to be. They want you to go to the doctors. They want you to do this. They want you to do that. The most men do is realize that something's wrong and keep it pushing, bro. You advance. You go into the next chapter. You move forward. You can't be stuck on it forever. You can't be talking about this for months, years. You're gonna be wasting so much time. You gotta move forward. Don't listen to this man Hunter, bro. This man Hunter is lost.
Worsens the outcomes for men. The type of masculinity that I talk about, I don't need to be a masculine guy. It's as to whether or not the information I'm delivering is accurate and based in empiricism. Mine is. I can demonstrate that the type of masculinity you push for contributes to the suicidality of men.
I mean, we can all find studies that fit our narrative. I can go and search
I don't think that
it's a waste of time, and it's not a good way to argue and have a conversation with somebody.
I think that if you
we're going in circles about this, let's talk about Fresh and Fit. I want you to.
Well, hold on. I think that if you genuinely cared about men, you would be willing to assess this information far more critically than you are right now. You just writing it all off as, oh, the studies are all manipulated, bro. What kind of cuck shit is that? There are study after study done by multiple different institutions that have all found the same fucking thing. The masculinity you push for contributes to the suicidality of men.
Right. And you're saying all this, and I'm writing you off like a fat trainer. You're on antidepressants, so I don't take what you're saying.
So you're doing the ad hom again.
No,
you're actually you're embarrassing yourself right now.
I'm not going to take happiness advice from a depressed person. That makes no sense.
I'm not giving happiness advice. I'm talking about certain expectations that contribute to suicidality.
Okay. Well, I'm not suicidal, and I don't think anyone in my chat is. Hopefully, we talk about how that's bad. But I don't think that you should be talking about, like, what if I care about mental health.
Sneako literally talks about God in his chat, with his chat. They talk about a bunch of stuff to help men. This is, bro, this shit, this is a clown world. We're stuck in a clown world. I don't even know what to say. We're just stuck in a clown world.
And I'm giving the wrong ideas about suicide when you're a depressed person. Now let's talk about.
No, you're giving the wrong idea about masculinity and which it contributes to the suicidality of men and unhappier marriages and higher likelihood of committing violence.
All right. What's your problem with Fresh and Fit?
So we're just going to move on from there then?
Yeah, we're going in circles, and it's just, yeah.
Okay, I'm happy to move on, but I do think that I should just at least point out the fact that you're engaging in an ad hom fallacy right now. When you say that you take pills, that is irrelevant as to whether or not the information I'm giving you is accurate or not. You need to contend with the data or the information I'm delivering, not with me personally.
Happiness is not studies and data. Happiness is something that you can't just write about and read from somebody else on the internet and declare that this is true and false. Happiness is
I'm not talking about happiness.
That we all have to figure out. Well, I am. Masculinity and mental health, all of that has to do with happiness. That's life. It's not something that you can point out to a study and say, this is the truth about masculinity. That's a waste of time to go back and forth with these articles. Now let's go.
So you understand that if you're talking about happiness, then why are you advocating for men to suppress their emotion, which makes it more likely they'll have depression and be less happy?
I explained that it's not suppressing, it's understanding, feeling the emotions, then doing the right thing and doing the best thing with your time. Keep moving forward, keep making more money, keep improving yourself, demand respect, find some love with a woman, and then
keep moving forward. Go for it. Absolutely. Also be in touch with your emotions and don't suppress them.
You can do both. But crying and going to therapy is not the right way to be in touch with your emotions. That's some matrix shit. Now let's talk.
Why should I listen to you? I mean, if we're gonna do ad hoc, I can just say, like, why do I need to listen to you then?
I'm not on
so what? That's irrelevant.
I'm happier than you.
Okay. I don't know if it sounds like he don't want to talk about the Fresh and Fit shit. I'm about to watch Fresh and Fit after this. I ain't even gonna lie. Either one of them, like, they give good advice for men. All types of advice: money, fitness, finance, everything. Travel vacations, credit cards, what you should do on the first. Well, I don't need none of the date stuff. I don't need none of that, like talking about girls. But the finance and the fitness stuff is good. Like, that should definitely, like, tune in for that. Fresh and Fit and Sneako. Sneako's on Rumble right now. He's live.
You asked me a question. You asked me a question, man. You're on a pill that says that I'm depressed.
You want to measure our happiness rates? Like it.
Well, you asked me a question, man. That's a genuine answer, and I don't see how that's.
You can say you're happier than me, but again, you're right. We are going in circles. But I kind of just feel for a lot of the guys that watch you, because it's like, I understand that they're all going to call me like a soy boy cuck or whatever, and that's fine. But I am actually advocating for certain ideas and views of masculinity that better men. It makes men better.
But they're not watching.
Let's see if you can garner a big audience of men, because I don't think that will be possible. I think it's.
I'm pretty sure I have mostly men who watch me right now, and it's not about who I can.
There's a reason why I'm resonating, and this message resonates with men across the world for all different types. And I think most of your fans are going to look like you, and going to really try to
look like you.
A lot of women. I bet your comment section is saying, like, this is toxic. They're echoing the same things as you.
He's toxic. It's giving insecurity vibes. Goofy, cornball.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's just, I feel like if you genuinely cared about men, you would actually do something about this information.
Well, if you're right, then take my fans. Let's see what happens, man.
It's not about who gets more fans or gets more views. It's about that. If you care about
men, if I'm not doing the right job, then you do it.
It's that if you care about
if you care about it so much, then do what I did. Take over the world, get 5 billion views on TikTok talking about it. Let's see if your live stream audience can match up to mine, talking about the same issues. There's a reason why men are not going to flock to you like they're flocking to this message, because men follow other masculine advice. I'm following masculine advice, what I believe to be true, keep pushing forward, and people come here. If you are right and I don't care, then they'll go to you, and we'll see what happens. Time will tell. Now, can we pivot to
doesn't actually matter. It's just that you're up here virtue signaling about how tough and masculine you are, while leading men down a path that makes it more likely they'll kill themselves.
Okay, you're repeating that. I'm telling you, if you're right, let's see if you could take them.
Okay.
They could, if they're resonating with you, if you're speaking to them at that level, they will go to your stream.
It's not just about if I resonate with other men.
That's exactly what it is.
No, it's not. I think that, again, you're falling back again into whether or not the information is correct. It is not relevant as to whether or not I get more fans, whether or not I get more views, whether I have more men watching me. None of that is relevant. What is relevant is the information I'm giving you is backed up empirically throughout fucking history, and the information you're giving to men is a virtue signal soy boy cuck mentality that you just got to suck it up.
He's the soy boy though. He don't get it. Y'all see mine. His title says Sneako versus Hunter Avalon. Mine should say Sneako versus Soy Boy.
Bruh, even though that makes it more likely they'll hurt other people and themselves.
Right,
but yeah, we can move on. We are starting to
yourself
circle
so many times, bro.
It's hard to get it through your head. I don't know what else to say.
Because you say the same things that everybody else on Twitter says, man. You don't have original thoughts or points of views. Toxic masculinity. We react to all these videos. Everybody who doesn't like what I talk about says the same talking points. It's in circles. It's not going to change my mind. You're saying what you're supposed to be saying. Antidepressant opinions.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Why don't you like Fresh and Fit?
I already did a 50-minute video on taking down Fresh and Fit that you responded to.
I would like to talk about that a little more. I don't remember exactly what you said, but I think it'd be a good debate. It'd be a good discussion.
Well, I mean, I went over the video. Yeah, we didn't really agree to talk about like debate Fresh and Fit. I guess I could look over what I said in that video.
About?
So he has to be prepared. He can't come. He has nothing original off the fly. He can't just. Man, this man. Listen, man. I'm having a hard time speaking right now. Y'all can see this man is a clown. This man don't even. It's not even entertaining.
Okay.
What else?
I mean, I remember what you said in that video. Actually, I do remember a specific thing you said that I didn't like, where you implied that women, if you ask them to rate themselves, they would all rate each other or themselves as like a 10 or 100 beyond perfect.
That's a fact.
Remember saying that?
That's a fact.
Yeah, and so I didn't really like that because again, it was completely not true based upon empiricism. I mean, they've done studies compared self-reported self-esteem, gender, and age across 48 nations, and they found that women had lower self-esteem in every.
Yes, everybody knows women have lower self-esteem, but they will still say they're a 10, though. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Women have a low self-esteem, but they'll still say they're a 10. 12, 100, 1300, they over 9,000. They say shit like that.
Every country that was analyzed. So when you say that, like, oh, ask a woman, she'll rate herself 10. She says she's 100, she's perfect. This is not true.
What's not true that they'll say that? Because they all say that repeatedly.
No, it's that women, whether or not they say that, I don't care. It's that generally speaking, women have way lower self-esteem than men.
We know that.
So when you make it sound like all women would just be like, I'm perfect, I'm beyond 10, I'm 100, whatever. That's just not, again, it's not borne out by the data. And I feel like that's part of the reason you avoid data.
So that's data right there. I'm asking women every single night, what would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? They say 10, 1,000, a million. That's their data. That's exactly what data is. That's a study. That's a real life study.
It's a real life
study.
An
anecdote.
It's not a study.
That's what a study is. I'm asking people, they're giving me their answers.
That's not what a study is.
Then what's
a study controls for other aspects. A study collects the data and compares it to other forms of data.
Okay,
there's more that goes into it than what like just asking questions.
Me asking
this, for example, was analyzing survey data.
That's collecting data from 30
This was analyzing survey data from over 985,000 men and women.
This man lost the argument.
They're not just walking up being like, how's your self-esteem today, LOL? And out of those near 1 million people, women consistently scored lower when it came to self-esteem as opposed to men.
We know this, though. We know this. Okay. We know women have low self-esteem, but they still say
that
they're
was just another thing
and they're perfect.
That you got wrong.
A woman to say they're perfect, but I'm perfect, but I need to lose 10 pounds. You're not perfect then. That doesn't make sense.
I got it wrong because you found a study that backs up what you're saying. I'm going off of real life experience because I'm telling you all that stuff could be manipulated. And that's a perfect example of me conducting a real life study. I'm asking women all in a room, what would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? And they all say that repeatedly. Why?
Maybe because like what I said in my video already is you surround yourself by shallow people.
There's
very likely. Yeah, of course. Okay. There's shallow people. Yeah, of course.
Are you better than them?
I didn't say that, and I don't know how to go about measuring that.
I'm asking you.
How would I go about measuring that?
You said that I'm shallow, Fresh and Fit are shallow, and all those women are shallow. Are you better?
I don't know. I don't usually like to say that I'm better than other people because
Well,
I don't
you're
know.
saying
And I
that
don't
by
know
saying by classifying
because I don't
most
know
people
what
as shallow.
metric.
You're not better than nobody. That's the whole point. No one's better than anybody. It doesn't matter. You might have certain things you're good at, but saying you're better is like saying you're godly. You're not Jesus Christ. You're not God. You're not better than no human. You probably took advantage of your blessings before someone else, but you're just not better. I would never say that.
That's
would be
saying you're
measuring
better.
that by, but I think that I'm better than you, if that helps,
Okay, why do you think you're better than me?
because I actually have empiricism behind the claims that I make.
You don't
and
have empiricism.
I went outside and
You don't have empiricism. The internet has empiricism. You don't go outside and live and have no life experience, so you have no empiricism. Like you have no data of your own. You just going off of what Fat Luke said.
to a girl, dude. Like, this is fucking laughable. If we used your logic and rejected mine, then we would all be here believing the world was flat. Because I go outside, bro, and I see a flat, open plane. But thanks to data and empiricism and investigation, we know that the Earth is not, in fact, flat. That's the result, though, of your type of reasoning here.
This
And
is
it's funny because earlier you were like, I go off
argue.
logic. Like, this is the most illogical thing I've heard.
It's a dumb way to argue, to go and do homework before this and list a bunch of articles that back up what you're saying, because I could do the exact same thing. But there's
Maybe you
no
should.
point. There's no point in engaging in a conversation like that, because the internet is so large. There's a study that's going to back up whatever you believe. What I believe, I could find, if I Googled right now, I could find you the same amount of articles saying the same thing. It's a waste of time to do this.
Yeah, this
And
is
if you
this
think
is your problem.
if you
is
think
that it's
you're
not a waste of time. This is
that
what
makes you
helps
feel
you get
better. Like the fact that you think bringing up articles makes you a better person. It's just ultimately this is not going to get any place, because if you garner your self-esteem by doing studies, then I'm not going to convince you, because
That's not how I garner my self-esteem. But I do think that as far as this engagement goes, I'm definitely better because, again, I have data that backs up my claims. I don't just have
This man is
my
slow.
friend said this, dude.
That's my data too. Asking women in front of a live audience and
But your data is not applicable on a broad in a broad circumstance. So again, like if you talk to an individual woman and she is shallow, and you say this woman is shallow because I talked to her, that's fine. You're correct. She is probably shallow. However, the problem.
But your data just shows that women have low self-esteem, so they're all shallow. But they all say they're 10 though. So that proves what he says. Women are delusional. Are delusional to a sum. This man's crazy.
Problem is when you extrapolate from that and then say women are shallow. You can't extrapolate from one or a couple bad engagements with women onto all women. And I don't think that you would appreciate this being done reverse either. I mean, imagine if somebody said like, yeah, men have consistently tried to rape me. All men are rapists. Like, that would be fucking stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Bottom line, if you're right, then people should gravitate towards you.
I don't even know what else to say. Like, that is so divorced from reality. I don't even know where to go from that. I mean, there are people that have no audience at all that also are speaking truth based on empiricism.
Me, I'm speaking truth on my real life data, not all some shit I could find off the internet. His chat going crazy. They say virgin, all types of shit. Feminine little boy.
Research, data collection, and it's not contingent as to whether or not they have a large audience.
Okay. These studies that you're pulling up has given you a false sense of moral superiority that deflects from conversation, and it's warped your reality when you could do real life studies. See, I garner what I talk about based off life experience, based on conversations, and by collecting data live in front of people, asking these people. But it's anecdotal as well, and this is what I don't like about bot arguments, is they think that pulling up some studies that back up exactly what they're saying means that it's true, but that's just as anecdotal as talking to people and figuring it out. Because the internet is so large and there's every type of information. It's anecdotal to select those websites and those studies and say this is the truth. That's just as anecdotal as me having a conversation.
No, it's not. I don't think you know what anecdotal means. It means like a personal
A
experience.
personal
that you're
experience.
basing
It's
on.
your
Yeah,
personal
it's not
experience.
anecdotal
Yeah, it
that
is.
985,000 people were engaged in a survey tracking from the ages of 16 to 45 in 48 different countries.
I ain't gonna lie, real masculine men don't want to answer no goddamn questions about nothing. They don't want it. They don't want to stop none of that. So stop the cap, bro. Regular men. You talking about the regular men? They don't want to get stopped and be asked questions and stuff. You might find that for women. Women might do shit like that, but men, majority of the time, want to just be left alone and do whatever they got to do.
And then they analyzed all of that data and found that women on average have lower levels
You don't
of
even know
self-esteem.
how they conducted the study. You don't
You
even
can read
know what
about
they
it.
asked.
And also, why would this is the cope. This is you are coping right now. You went from I don't trust the data to well, anybody can get a study for anything to well, they probably just did the study wrong. You're in like the
they could
3
have done the
stages
study.
of cope right now.
It's not coping. It's understanding that not that one study proves exactly what you're saying, and I can find a study proving what I'm saying. This is a dumb way to go back and forth, and it's anecdotal because it's your personal experience. I can find something that backs up what I'm saying, and we can go argue back and forth about the study. And I'm saying trusting that one source you found on the internet is a stupid way to go about it because you don't even know how they conducted it, and you're saying this is true because I read it on the internet.
One, that's not what I'm saying at all.
That's exactly what you're saying.
No, if I were like, hey, here's a Reddit thread, that would be more equivalent to what you just said. Second of all, earlier when we were having the conversation about how men should cry, I cited multiple different sources. I didn't just give one study. I believe that I'm right about that because there are multiple different sources that support that conclusion. But you didn't want to hear any of those either.
Okay. Do you think that people want to find the truth, and do you think people resonate with people who are speaking the truth?
Potentially, but there are a lot of people that speak lies, and also a lot of people resonate with them as well.
Like who?
Like who? I don't know. Alex Jones, he's pretty famous. That Alex Jones is the first person that comes to mind.
Yeah, I'm not gonna convince you, and I gave up on trying. But I think it's a good example for my chat to see.
Bot mentality.
Of course, you said Alex Jones, and you're not a fan of Donald Trump. You also don't like what Ye said recently in the media. You are happy that Andrew Tate was banned. I think it's a good thing because he was spreading misogynistic lies to teens. It's like we know what you think, and there's not really getting a convincing way out of this. Basically,
you really don't think there was anything wrong with you didn't see any problems with what Kanye said recently?
No.
About the Jews controlling the media and all
the truth really does resonate with people, and there's a reason why people like you.
I gotta skip that part. You know, we on YouTube. You know how they are, man. I'm just
people like Joe Biden, Hillary. They will not ever garner an audience. They won't motivate and inspire people and have a speech because
so if somebody has a bigger audience, that means they're telling the truth.
No, not a bigger audience, but have a motivation.
People gravitate towards stuff that kind of makes sense or their personal beliefs or experiences. Like that's just the truth. Of course, they can have an audience, but the audience is going to be way different. If you go to a Trump speaking or a rally or whatever, or you go to like a Biden rally or whatever, you could literally look at the difference in the people. You could just see the difference.
Motivated audience and have people garnered, having people really resonate. The people that watch you are people who
you
are
fucking stupid right now.
Yeah,
well, you're actually being
the people
dumb
that
as
watch
shit.
you.
The fact that you think whether or not whether or not what someone's saying is true or not is based on how many people that resonate with it is just it's deranged. That is appealing to the popular or to the popular I guess audience in this case. Yeah, the populace in a way. That's right. You're saying that because this person has more people. Yeah. Because this person has more people listening to them, they must be correct.
It's not more people, it's inspiring and motivating people. The reason that you list those people is because they have an audience that really connects with them on a level. The people that watch you and the people that watch the brainwash, the people that believe in all the same shit that you're saying, if you look at the comments, it's not like, wow, this is amazing. This is motivating me. The comments are, this is disgusting in a response to what you think is fucking stupid. It's
okay. Well, first and foremost, what you said
you're making people feel better.
Stupid.
You make people feel
a minute
better.
ago, what you said was fucking stupid. Do you think that if I had a huge audience, if I had 4 million people subscribing to me right now, that now what I'm saying
they wouldn't. I don't think they would ever get that much.
There would be more truth to it. If you were motivating, inspiring people, that's my metric to if somebody's speaking the truth, if they can.
Wait, so you actually think that if somebody has a
I know for a fact he would never, if he does ever have that moment, he can't keep them entertained because a lot of people, especially a lot of men, don't align with what he's talking about. A lot of men don't care. A lot of men know he's talking gibberish. Like
larger audience, it's more likely they're telling the truth.
No, people have huge audiences like Hasanabi, for example, but I don't think he could really motivate and inspire people. He has like 30 to 40,000 people. He's saying all the same shit that you're saying. And if he tried to have a live event or if he tried to like host a show, it would be extremely low energy. There would be nobody motivated, nobody inspired. Everyone would just be there because what he does and what people like you do is they just talk down to other things that bring people up. You're saying toxic masculinity. You're telling people to go to therapy. You're telling people to take antidepressants. You're saying that Alex Jones and Ye is a piece of shit when they're really trying to wake people up and tell people the truth. Your type of content is just bringing down. It's lower vibration. It's low energy, and it coincides with everything else we heard.
Who has the lower vibration, bro? Okay, let's stop with the hippie talk. Again, you're saying that if
you just don't make sense, bro. If I would have been debating you, I would have destroyed you. Straight destroyed you. Your shit don't make sense, bro. You're a cornball. Ain't nobody gonna rock with what you talking about. And if they do, they're corny too. We already know what type the demographic, what the person looks like that is listening to you. I guarantee you. Guarantee you, bro.
Somebody has a larger audience, it's more likely that they're correct. That is the appeal to
I just told you no. I just told you that Lasanabi has probably like 5-6 times more live viewers right now if he was streaming, but he will not motivate and inspire people the same way that the truth will. People like me talking and everybody else that you think is a bad person.
Well, like what about Adolf Hitler? Adolf Hitler was able to motivate.
Oh yeah, we're not talking about that. Yeah, he wilding.
Dumb. I don't. This is toxic. This is misogynist. Man.
So what makes like Andrew Tate, for example, somebody with a huge following who also has a very motivated following?
People idolize him. People live vicarious through Andrew Tate. People, let's say it's not the Bugatti. I know having a Bugatti is nice and stuff like that, but just men naturally want fast cars to make a lot of money or good money and have a hot girlfriend. That's just a natural thing off the rip. Men want. That's just what men want, bro. They don't want to be sobbing, crying, going to therapy. They don't want to do that, bro.
Him correct based on that metric, but makes Adolf Hitler incorrect based on that metric.
Hitler should not.
Ooh, we can't talk about that up here in chat.
Audience determines whether or not, or excuse me, raises the likelihood that you're speaking truth. If you're also acknowledging examples throughout history where the complete opposite was true. I don't know. I think that might be something that you need to work out. Maybe you should go see a therapist, actually. Try to work that one out. But also, I want to say one other thing.
Say, do some push-ups. Little nigga, do some push-ups. Nigga, some bitches. Get your shit right, bro. Get your... I know what I'm talking about, man. I can't say it, because I got to keep it on the DL, but...
About the Kanye shit. I never tried to put words in Kanye's mouth, and I never said that he said that verbatim. However, what he did say is that the Jews control the media and that they blackball anyone who goes against their agenda. He is assuming within that quote, within that statement, that Jews are a monolith who have one agenda, and that is the...
Did he not get shit? Did they not stop him? Did they not cancel him? Did they not knock all his points and push him out? Did they not do that? If it's not true, it wouldn't happen. Then that's my belief. If it wasn't true, it wouldn't have happened. He'd have still been out here talking like he wanted to talk. That's the truth. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Y'all can do y'all. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But let's acknowledge the truth. I'm not saying they're bad people or anything, but that is it. Let's just be honest, bro.
JQ. That's the fucking problem. That's why I take issue with what Kanye said.
Sneako done talking.
And Alex Jones and Sandy Hook and yeah. I mean, we know the talking points. There's no convincing you.
Okay.
All right.
Is this the end of the call then?
Yeah, I need to talk to my chat because they're getting riled up right now.
All right. Well, nice talking to you. Hitler did nothing wrong, Sneako. Or Hitler had good points.
Whoa, he's wilding. He's acting like a weirdo. Chat, how y'all feel about that? How y'all feel about that, man? How y'all feel about that, man? Let's get into this other video, man. Listen, chat, I'm gonna split this up. I'm gonna split the videos up because I know y'all everybody ain't got all day to watch all these videos, man. But let's get into this, chat. Hustle culture is toxic. Destiny slams the red pill community. Yo, Destiny get on my nerves.
You work a 9 to 5.
Listen, I don't know if y'all don't know who Destiny is, though.
Actually sell something, whether you know it or not. You sell your time. And the reason this is a problem is because if you want
But you've had some pretty hard.
Listen, Destiny is a guy, he's a liberal. He does like
You've had some pretty
political talks. He does political talks and stuff like that. Him and his girlfriend are both open. So he's letting someone slam his girlfriend to the mattress. And then he wants to talk about points and stuff like that. Like, people are really going to listen to him. And he also says buying crypto is bad. Doing drop shipping is bad. Getting money is trying to get money and get a fast car and do nice things like most men want to do is a bad thing. You should just live in your little apartment, shit like that, and just be content with life. That's what he advocates for. But let's get into this video. Subscribe to the channel.
Words for the red pill community, right? You said that lifestyle is kind of not fulfilling. It's all materialistic. You know, they're all about cars, you know, clothes, houses, hoes, bitches. It's just very sort of unfulfilling, all right? And I think you've even called yourself blue pill. So
the cars, the clothes, the hoes. I just want to be successful.
where do you stand on this whole red pill, blue pill, this whole sexual interdynamics, blue pill, red pill game? Where do you stand?
It's hard to like have like one pill. I think that like red pill guys make a lot of accurate descriptions or like observations about like sexual dynamics. Like when they talk about like what men want and what women want, generally speaking, sexually, it's usually true-ish, but they kind of run off into some weird areas. I think the things that they focus on are a little bit negative sometimes. Yeah, but it's going to depend specifically what we're talking about. Yeah. Okay.
So what do you fundamentally disagree with the red pill space, and then what do you agree with?
What do I fuck, it's so hard because there's like so many different types of red. So like, for instance, I might say that like it feels like there's an over fixation sometimes on the material sometimes when it comes to like having cars, houses, you know, you gotta hustle. I hate hustle culture. Everything.
You hate hustle culture? It's not nothing about, they're not saying go get that. You should have the ability to get it if you want it. It's better to have it and not need it than want it and not have it. Everybody knows that. That's a saying before my time. Like, don't nobody want to be a cuck, then their girlfriend gets slammed to the mattress. Why would they listen to you?
Everything around hustle culture I think is really toxic. But like whenever I confront red pill guys on this, they'll always say like, well, we don't talk about that. We just say men need to be the best versions of themselves, and they'll usually give a more laid back kind of like choice. Like, okay, well, if you're saying that, like, I agree with you. Like I noticed that like I don't know if his messaging has changed, but it felt like Andrew Tate was like very fixated on like Bugattis and like all this kind of like wealth shit. But then I've heard like recently him say,
listen, chat, this really like hurts my ears to listen to this dumb shit he be talking about. Listen, it seems like he's like not acknowledging everybody that has millions of dollars, millionaires and billionaires. Not everybody, but majority. I would say 99% of the people that have millions and billions of dollars, what they have: fast cars, nice houses. It's not they're fixated on it. This is what comes with money. This is what men naturally want. They want the good-looking girlfriend. They want this stuff. They want to take trips. This is just what men want. So you out here
say stuff like, you know, sometimes 50 a year might be like your thing, and that might be the thing that you excel at and be the best you can be at that, which I think is a much better message. But yeah, it's going to depend on the particular message and the particular person and whether or not I'm on the show, I think, on how radical their message is going to be.
How about this? Let me put it this way. If there's one person in the red pill space, whoever you want to identify in that space, that you say, all right, that's my favorite guy. No matter if we agree or disagree, that's the guy that I would say, all right, I identify most with, or I at least can
I don't know if there'd be anybody that I'd be comfortable. Nobody. I don't think so. That I'd be like, yeah, go watch this. Like, I would never recommend any of the. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think I'd be fighting with most of these people for most things.
Fresh and Fit, Andrew Tate, Rolo,
for sure. We disagree on a ton of stuff. Yeah.
None of these guys, you wouldn't recommend one of them. They're all put together. There's not one person you're like, all right, at the very least. Zero?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Not even your boy Sneako?
Definitely not. Really? We super disagree on a lot of things related to relationships.
So there's nobody that you would say they're doing a good job, or at least I like their message.
I guess if I can recommend like one episode, maybe like when Myron talks about, you know, men being the best versions of themselves and getting women and wealth is like a byproduct of improving yourself and focusing yourself. Like if that's the only message that he's like pushing, or if that's the primary one, then when he's saying that stuff, I agree 1,000,000%. Well, absolutely. And I would say that's a really positive message. It's good to have like men like him to look up to like push that message. 100%. Talk about investing, talk about working, talk about being responsible. That's good. But when they fly into the other things, talking about like women and some of the like sexual relationship stuff, it gets a little bit weird. But yeah, it's just going to depend on people say so many different things. It's hard. Like I say a lot. I'm sure you've seen in your whatever researching me. I've said a lot of shit where it's like on some things with Steven, like yeah, 100%. But on other things, he's fucking wild. So I don't know if anybody. I would never expect a wholesale endorsement or something.
Gotcha.
And I feel the same about like Red Pill community.
That's like in any political, you know, poll or Q.
Listen, man. So he's saying like when they get into the relationship dynamics, every man don't want multiple women. They would love to sleep with a bunch of women at one time, at one point or another, but they don't want to be late. They don't want multiple wives. Every man don't want multiple wives. Dealing with girls is stressful. These girls, they different, bro. They be out here wilding there. It's a mental load on you to be having 4 or 5 different wives and stuff like that. That shit is crazy. Y'all know if y'all really talk to girls, y'all know.
Q scores, they give favorable and unfavorable. Sure. So obviously you're not going to agree with 100% everything says and 0% of it. Like there's no disagreement, but there's somebody like if somebody has a 60% approval rating and a 38% disapproval, that's a pretty good thing for the polls. So that's actually essentially what I'm asking. Like
it would probably be based on the new stuff I've heard Andrew Tate say. He'd probably be the highest at like 55 or 60 approval, maybe. But he's on this weird like Islamic shit now, and I've heard him say a lot of other stuff that's crazy.
Some weird Islamic shit. What the fuck? Chat. What the fuck? Clip this up. He said weird Islamic shit. Hold on.
For 60 approval, maybe. But he's on this weird like Islamic shit now, and I've heard him say a lot of other stuff that's crazy. And it's hard to separate
how's that
like, the clips
weird?
From the full videos, from the timeline. So
gotcha.
I'll like task.
Chat. How is that weird? How being religious is weird? Like that shit blows my mind, bro. Y'all better clip that right there.
Maybe sort of a little bit say maybe
tacitly Tate. And maybe. Who's the bottom of your list? You're like, that guy's the worst. He sucks. I would never.
Any of the older Red Pill stuff was real, like the big like PUA, Big Tao, all of that crazy shit from like 5 years ago. All of that would be bad. Nowadays, I don't watch a lot of like Red Pill stuff, such that I can't give you like a wholesale endorsement or disendorsement of like a Red Pill person. Yeah.
If there's again, this is me putting on my judgmental hat.
Good.
Because you made a joke with Sneako, you're like, yeah, I'm bi, but like, don't get any ideas, buddy. If there was anyone in the Red Pill space, you're like, yeah, they're attractive. I'm not saying I would, but I would. Like,
hey, yo,
like the hottest guy.
Hey, yo, stop it with the sus stuff. Not on my chat.
Who would you find the most attractive?
That is absolutely.
In this video, I'm going to show you how I made $1.2 million
in
the first 7 months working online without having to be an affiliate market.
Absolutely not a question. I'm gonna answer. Really? Not that weird. No, I can't. No.
Okay, but there's someone in your mind.
No, not even. I actually don't generally. My relationship with men is like really different. Yeah, with women I might think, but not with men. I just don't tend to think of that.
Hey,
okay. Yeah. All right, I won't push you too much on that, but there's probably someone in mind.
No, there's probably not.
Okay. How about you? Is there anybody in the Red Pill space? You're like, if I could pick one guy.
No, they're all toxic. They're pathetic. They're not strong and stuff like that. That doesn't make sense, bro. Because Red Pill. I know she's gonna say something like that, but my rebuttal right away is that they advocate for being a strong man. I ain't gonna lie. Like a lot of this stuff, this is what men want, and this is what men think. This is how men think. If you listen to the Red Pill stuff, all men are Red Pill to a certain degree.
Guy, you know, if Steven let me kind of dip out one day, you know, that Tate guy, I'd give it to him. Nobody?
No.
So nobody in the Red Pill space.
I don't think so, no.
So you're not into like alpha men, big strong men. You're more.
I don't think they're big and strong. I think they're really pathetic.
You think who's pathetic?
All of them.
Yeah, Tate specifically.
I think all of them are like they seem extremely insecure to me, and I like secure.
How people think? How is that insecure? Letting your girl get slammed to a mattress by another man, that's very insecure. What are you talking about? This shit blows my. I swear to God, this shit blow my mind. The internet is a wicked place because this shit don't make sense at all. That is insecure. Not telling your woman, no, you can't do that. That's very secure. What are you talking about?
Confidence in a man, and I don't think any of them are very confident.
Really? Because that's the exact opposite approach. That
about that what they want. Yeah, they want to look really confident, but like the way they act, like if you look at the situations they end up in and like how they speak, no, it sounds very insecure to me.
So you look at someone like Andrew Tate, you know, who's sort of the poster child of the red pill space. Obviously, it was Kevin Samuels for a long time. Rest in peace. You look at someone like him, or even like Myron, or any of these guys. You think that they're insecure?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Because I feel like
I've
whenever,
heard a lot of things, but insecure is not on the list.
If we took this as an example, if there's a guy that's like, get away from me, like that's gay, bro. Like if that, like if it really feels like that makes you less masculine, like
what the fuck? What the fuck am I? What the hell am I watching? What the hell am I watching? If another man touch you and you're not homosexual, and you be like, no, bro, don't touch me. I don't go that way. That's insecure. What the fuck? Weird.
ever thinking about being in touch, like even like hugging a dude is like, if it really if you feel so bad about it, I think there's a lot of insecurity that comes out of it.
Who feels sad about it? What do you mean feel?
If they feel bad about it, if they feel so scared of like coming off as gay or anything like that, and they're like, no, bro, like. To me, it just looks like insecurity. A guy that's like, yeah, I like to suck dick sometimes. There's a lot more confidence because that's a lot to fucking.
What? Ain't no way, chat. Ain't no way. She just said that dumb shit. Ain't no way.
Say,
Okay,
you know,
that is so
like in society.
Backwards, Melina. So
It's
a
not very
guy who's like, yo, bro, I'm not gay. Keep
forward.
that shit elsewhere. That's insecure. But a guy who's like, yeah, I'll suck some dick. That's secure.
It doesn't have to be sucking dick, but it could be
You said
but
it,
let's say that a guy is like, I love you, man, like, or if they're like showing emotion, or if they're even crying, like at some point they get really emotional about something, because that's something that a lot of men are having an issue with too, like showing some sort of emotion or crying about something, you know. Especially these guys are they will never ever do that. If they do, I think that takes a lot more. And if they can like be like, no, it's okay to be upset sometimes.
Well,
if I do lose my job, it's okay for me to be upset. It's a lot more confidence than it is to just be like, no, I would never do that.
To be clear, you can show emotions as a guy, but that doesn't mean you have to be emotional. There is a difference.
Well, there's for a lot of these
But
red pill
that's
guys,
the
they say
thing,
like
right?
you can never be emotional around your woman because they might leave.
No,
you.
Yeah, that's an insecurity right there.
Yeah, I agree, but I mean, to an extent, yes. If you're just a crying, whiny bitch,
No
yeah,
one's
she
saying
should
that.
leave
have
you.
to
A lot
be
of these
that.
people,
However,
wait, real quick, let me
yeah.
restate. A lot of these guys say that you should never, not a single time,
Yeah.
never risk showing emotional vulnerability to a woman.
No,
That's what
okay,
they'll say.
but that
There's a time and a place, chat. There's a time and a place to be emotional. Can you be emotional? Yes. Should you be emotional all the time? No. I think you should do it by yourself, and then it's okay if you tell your girl, listen, this makes me sad. I'm really not feeling well right now. I'm very depressed. Say not depressed. I'm very sad right now. That's okay. But there's a time and a place. A woman could cry out in front of anybody. No consequences are gonna happen.
that depends on your relationship. I'll give you an example. So 3 years ago, I was with a girl. Okay, in that space, in that 3-month period, my girl got cancer. I cried because I love my girl. We cried together when she found out she had cancer. Okay, and then 3 months later, my dad died. Okay, so red, blue, green, yellow. In that 3-month period, I cried. I probably hadn't cried in years, but that was a very, very tough spot to be in. And like, if whether you're red pill, blue pill, I don't give a fuck what pill. If your girl gets cancer and your dad died and you can't cry and express your emotion, that's a problem, bro. That's a robot. Nobody's a robot.
Yeah, I would
Okay?
agree. Yeah, I'd agree. I'm just repeating what they've said because
No,
I
I know.
think it was a time even when I was on Pressure Fit, and I want to feel like there was another guy to the right of you.
Yeah, and they were saying, don't ever.
Yeah,
show
and I think I
emotions
literally,
to them.
you
Don't
know,
ever
like,
cry.
anything,
Ever.
anything happens, your parents die. It's
but-
like if you risk it, your woman will look at you
Anything
differently.
that says ever, always, all, zero, it's such a far-fetched hyperbolic comment. It's not a binary thing where it's like never cry or always cry. It's like, well, sometimes shit happens and you need to fucking show emotion.
I think
That's
the problem,
that's humanity.
The problem is the things that they fixate on show an error in the thought process. Whether or not you actually kind of hinted at it, whether or not you cry around a woman has no bearing on how that woman views you. It's going to be what is your general emotional stability. Right?
I think I agree to an
Yeah.
extent, but I also disagree because it depends what you're crying about.
Well, that's
If you're
what I'm saying. It
crying,
speaks to your general emotional
like,
stability. If your father dies,
Yes.
like Jesus Christ, of course you're going to have a reaction to
course.
that. But if you're like crying every single day because like your boss was rough at work and you come home and you're like a breakdown, then yeah, obviously people know you're doing it. Yeah, but that doesn't have to do with like you crying. People fix it. It just has to do with the fact that this guy is like super emotionally unstable.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Because there's levels to this thing.
Yeah.
You know, there's levels to this game. So like, you know, father dying, girl gets cancer, 1 through 10, those are 10s.
Yeah.
Feel free to cry to 10. But you know, if you ordered the hamburger and they brought you a cheeseburger and has cheese and you start crying, that's a 1. If you're crying there, homie, like
But that's
get
like
it together.
that's like you need therapy. You know,
Exactly.
that's what that is. Yeah,
well, I would say
agree.
anything 1 through 8. If you're crying, it's
Yes.
like that's pretty fucking.
But the thing about all these red pill guys that we were mentioning are the guys that would say never ever show emotion.
Yeah, I think.
And that
that's
is an
where your bro
insecurity. That is an insecurity.
But anytime that you use the word ever or all or everyone, that's where you're gonna lose an argument, whatever it is, because there's always exception to the rule. Okay, and if you're using blanket statements, that's gonna be problematic. So if you like that clip, click right here to watch it.
Yo, chat, that's crazy. How y'all feel about that? That was crazy. I hope y'all clip that up. What y'all want to watch next, man? Let me see if I could get into something, chat. Let me see. Let's check this out. We're definitely not watching no Destiny. That shit is wild. This shit is wild, bro. Chat, how your day going, man? How's that day going? Let's get into this, chat. She moved on in 1 week of dating. She became homeless 2 weeks later. What? I'm confused.
In a follow-up video, here we go. I said, I'm wearing this to the function or going home. He said, can I call you an Uber? So I'll be in an Uber. So I'm in an Uber going home. Okay. So she made him like ultimatum, I guess.
I'm so sad because I spent so much time trying to look pretty and he sent me home in an Uber. Who does that? He sent me home with a stranger on a Friday night. Fine, I'm good. I'm not gonna cry like a little bit.
You already did.
Chat, these girls don't make sense. This shit don't make sense. I'm kind of confused here.
Can't say you're not gonna do something you already did. I'm not gonna punch her by the arm. I just did.
Nah, bro, I thought you were gonna do that shit again. I'm like, yo, we gonna have a problem. The worst time for an example is acceptable. Don't do that shit again.
See?
All right, here we go.
My van is a mess because I like literally moved into his house for the past 3 weeks and I shoved everything in there, so now I gotta clean it all.
Someone in the comment wrote, she's ulting.
She's what?
Ulting. That means she's using her special move.
Ulting?
Yeah, like, you know, like a Kamehameha type of thing.
I ain't mad at it.
That's a special
Because
move.
that's what it is.
But you know what? Let me not be uncharitable. Let me listen to the whole thing.
My van is a mess because I like literally moved into his house for the past 3 weeks and I shoved everything.
Wait. You know I'm slow, right?
She moved into his house for the pay.
So she just started dating a guy. So she moved in after 1 week of dating a guy. And they didn't work out, so she's homeless 2 weeks later. Why would you move into somebody's house 1 week after dating someone? This shit don't make sense, chat. This shit cringe.
It's 3 weeks.
She said it was 3 weeks.
She lives in a van?
Wait.
Yep, I ran, she said, adding that she now lives in her van with her loyal cat. I'm glad I got out after only 3 weeks. And not
Hold on. We're not gonna act like we didn't see loyal cat. What the fuck? This shit is crazy.
3 years.
Mas, por PTD, why did you move in after
Whoa.
Bon, let me talk.
Whoa.
Let me talk to my white people for 2 seconds. Y'all move in with people you just met way too quickly. Way too fucking quickly. Motherfuckers, you ask, we just met like 3 months ago. We're gonna move in next month. Motherfucker, what? How does that fucking make sense? Y'all move in with each other really too quick. Immigrants take way too much time. Concur. But can we find a middle ground? Can we find an in between? 3 weeks, you
That's
move
crazy.
in a motherfucker. Forget the fact that he rejected you for your drip. You move in with someone you met through social media ads.
He rejected her for the drip. What the hell, chat? I'm confused. This shit don't make sense, chat. This shit don't make sense. And she posted this shit.
Apps after 3 weeks.
Before. Not even 3 weeks. They dated.
You met the week after you move in, and then you move out 2 weeks. What? I don't even understand and comprehend how the hell that makes sense and how you don't see that that's a problem. I really don't. I don't see how you see that and you say that and you're like, yeah, that's perfectly fine. There's not a problem and a thing wrong with what I said. You met someone the week after you moved in.
Yep. But the truth is, and this is reality, is it's not that abnormal. A lot of people do this. And it's not white people. It's not white people.
No?
I see it. People who like fall quickly will do that. People.
Well, then I'm sorry, white people. I don't want to
That
put
is
that
how
on
I've
you,
seen
white
all
people.
kinds of groups.
Apparently, it's not all y'all. That's crazy. That's mental health. There's
Hey, yo, chat. Let me know how y'all feel about this in the comments, man. Cause this joint crazy. I'm lost some brain cells.
There is something that is lacking, that you need to attach yourself to someone that quickly, that you don't have any holding backs and any let me see where this goes, any retention, that's mental health. Yeah, but I've been doing that and I've been with my girl for 4 years. Good on you. I ain't talking about you. Sometimes we talking, but we're not talking to you. Okay?
Okay.
That's crazy.
Okay. So on the topic of the moving in, I think you covered that pretty extensively. On the topic of the actual event itself, I can understand why she would be upset. You know, you get ready, you're excited to do this and be present, and you're basically being told you're not appropriate. That's fair. I can understand why you'd be disappointed and be hurt by all that. However, it's his work function. If he doesn't want to bring you based off your outfit, it's because it would affect him from a work perspective. You got to be sensitive to that, right?
No, she's just sensitive.
Like, there's certain things I know I can't wear.
Stop dressing like a hoe. That's just the problem. That's just the point. You don't dress like, if you dress more modestly, you will never have a problem anywhere you go. Like, just dress more conservative. And you can be conservative and sexy or modest and sexy. It's nothing wrong. Like, man, it's a clown world.
To my partner's work functions, right? Even though y'all know me, dusty old boy. If it's my partner's work function, I gotta come appropriate. And she says, no, you can't come in joggers or you can't come in these kinds of pants. I gotta change. It sucks. It's an inconvenience, but I understand. For you to sit there and say, well, I'm wearing this or I'm going home. Okay, then bitch, you gotta go. I got a job to keep. What's wrong with you? And I already know both of you are weirdos because he let you move in after 2-3 weeks. And boo-boo, you moved in. So I already know you guys are weirdos. So honestly, I don't really feel that much sympathy for anyone involved in this whole situation. I get it. People fall, people make mistakes. I don't gotta feel a bunch of sympathy for it. Because you look like a grown-ass woman. By your age, you should know better. And if you don't, I can see why you in a van with your cat. People just jump the stages because they want to.
Chat, y'all subscribe to the channel, man. I ain't gonna lie. This video right here, cringe.
Get to the end destination, realizing the end destination doesn't really end. It just keeps going in perpetuity. There is no end destination. So, but
I bet that right now you trade your time for money. 1 hour equals X amount of dollars. It's
but they have a point they want to get to.
They think it's
you know
a destination when it's actually a journey.
It's like they want to skip the whole going on dates and getting to know each other. They want to jump right into the relationship. They want to, and look, maybe that works for some people, but there's nothing wrong with actually going through certain steps. Maybe going 3-4 dates. Then you get to know each other more intimately. Then you get into a relationship.
Motherfuckers want to go on a whole boat ride. They don't even know if they can float.
Yeah.
Bitch.
It's like y'all jumping a bunch of steps, finding out like everything is half baked. Yeah, you didn't leave it in the oven long enough, boo-boo. That happens. Shit came out kind of raw. And not the good kind. I'm looking at this issue. I'm like, yo, wearing a crop top. I could definitely see that being inappropriate for some work events. I don't know what his job is. I don't know what his position is. But I could definitely see that crop top being a no at a lot of events. So you just gotta be mindful. That's all I'm trying to say. Guys, doesn't hurt you guys. You know, he could have messaged her and be like, hey, send me a picture of your outfit. Or maybe she could have sent a picture of his outfit if it was that important.
No, you shouldn't have to read mine. You shouldn't have to do that. She should just know that it's not okay to come out dressed like a slut or a hoe or be very revealing. Dress more modest. Don't make excuses. Just dress modest. You'll be good anywhere you go.
There's a communication barrier that they probably didn't get through because, one, they don't know each other for long enough. But it's like, you're not going to have no miscommunications. You're not going to have no mishaps. But this girl talking about, he sent me home in an Uber. At least he paid for it. At least he got you home in an Uber. You act like he told you, a bitch, start walking. I don't know. Everyone's being hyperbolic to make the other party look bad. And everyone in the comments is like, bitch, never go back to him. Ooh, he's a piece of shit. Fuck him. Nah, 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 nah. And I'm like, nah.
That's how they talk. That's how they be talking. That's small dick energy. It's giving insecure. It's giving corny. It's giving insecurity, bro. That shit don't make sense. The comments, the girls' comment section be the most toxic. Like,
none of y'all peep the fact that this lady moved in after 3 weeks.
Y'all crazy.
Are you guys also insane?
Y'all crazy. Y'all straight up crazy.
God damn.
Straight up crazy.
I mean, I've dated girls for a whole year and a half before I even considered the idea of them moving in with me. That's quick. That's quick.
No, that's crazy.
I mean, boo-boo, you didn't even finish your whole period cycle.
facts.
And you already moved in. That's
Facts. That was wild.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That's wild, chat.
I'm a kind of motherfucker that's gonna wait to go on a. I'm gonna wait to go on a trip with you.
Yeah.
All inclusive.
Well, yeah.
Okay, and that
It gotta be at least. I'm gonna be honest. I would think it'd at least be like maybe 9 months to a year before you even consider. 9 months that where you consider to think about it or even talk about it. Anywhere before that, it's a no-go. You want to know if they're compatible. You got to sleep over a couple nights. You got to understand like the dynamic of the person, what they like, what they don't like. I don't even know what y'all don't like. Y'all just probably both just like sex, and that's it. That's all y'all been like really into with each other. They don't know nothing about each other.
That's if I go and I can send you, that's like the first step. If I go on an all-inclusive trip, I know some of y'all not like good with all-inclusive shit, but if I go with a partner, I want to go on an all-inclusive trip with you. Okay, the reason why is because an all-inclusive trip is actually life on super easy mode. Nobody cooks, nobody cleans, everybody's happy, everything is nice. It's life on easy mode. If I can't stand you for a week on life on easy mode, I ain't moving with you. That's first step. If I haven't gone on a trip with you, I'm surely not gonna move in with you. Then I'm gonna move in. I'm gonna do another trip with you. I'm a bit extra. That's me. But if I don't do those steps, I'm not. I don't know you.
Yeah,
I don't know you. I don't know you.
Just be flying these ladies out like, yo, we going on trips.
If I don't go, you stupid for that one. If I don't go after that on an Airbnb trip with you, we're not moving in.
I ain't flying nobody out. Listen, if I'm with you, if we're in a relationship together, you gonna come get flown out. You're gonna go on trips. But if we're not in a relationship, I'm not flying you out to come see me. I'm not bringing you on no trip. None of that. We have to at least be talking to have casual sex for me to even take you out, fly you over to where y'all get what I'm saying though. I don't know why people just be doing people wild.
Because that's the second level of life. Because now you got to take care of your food. You got to take care of this and that. What you going to do? You know what I mean? There's nobody to entertain you on the side. You understand what I'm saying?
You do a little trial period is what you're saying.
Absolute fuckingly.
Yeah, try before you buy.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's the same thing for her. Don't be,
I'm the same way.
Don't be thinking that she don't do the same thing. She does the same thing. As she should.
I'm the same way with pussy.
Huh?
I try before I buy. Sorry. Don't mind me. Just keep going.
Yeah, you stupid.
You making a great point. That's all right.
But
eat it before you beat it.
I'm saying 1 week. What is one? Oh my days.
Hey, listen.
Oh wow, yeah, that's crazy.
If you see this, and maybe there's context that we're missing to this, but based off the article and the videos that you posted, how quickly you moved in and then moved out, maybe there's some other things you gotta look at. Because
mental health.
Mental health.
Okay.
Fact.
And
I'm seeing a therapist. Stop stigmatizing me.
Mental health. Okay, I'm not stigmatizing you. I'm telling you, you should check that out. Check that out. All right.
Hey, yo, chat. This shit was cringe. This shit was hella cringe. I don't know when someone told me to go watch this. This shit was cringe. How y'all feel about this? Put it in the comments, man. That girl don't make no sense. Loyal cat. They just gonna grace over that. The loyal cat part. Hey, yo, chat. I'll be back with y'all tomorrow, though, man. Thanks for looking in, man. Y'all subscribe to the channel, man. I'm gonna chop these up and put them out. Smaller videos because I know everybody don't have time to watch all of them. To sit down for 2 hours and watch this. So I'm gonna chop it up and put them out throughout the day today and tomorrow. All right, y'all have a nice day.